Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Josh Morris with the Everything Paranormal Show, and I wanted to come to you guys today. Um, I figured, hey, you know what? After the holidays, we didn't do shows. The holidays kind of fell on like Thursdays this year with New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve, and so it's good. I see a few of you popping in. Thank you, Tata. Facebook user. I hate I it sucks when people don't do the link. I can't tell who you are. But anyways, but hi guys. It's good to see you. So I'm doing a show tonight. Um we're gonna do some look back over 2020 with the Everything Paranormal show, and I'm gonna give you guys an opportunity to ask me any questions through the show. Any personal questions, paranormal question, or paranormal related. Um, but you can pretty much ask me about anything. So I'll try to get to all your questions. If you have any, if there's a lot of people, I don't know who's all going to show up tonight. Whenever you take a few weeks off, man, sometimes people don't like to show up. They're like, man, he didn't have a show this week. Screw him. But no, seriously, we're going to do a review of the channel. We're going to get into some stuff. We're going to kind of look back and see some of the guests that we had, some of the different shows that we did. I think it'll be pretty fun. I probably should have recorded this show sitting down. I'm standing up tonight. I thought it'd be fun. Lately, it's been fun to kind of stand up and do these shows, but probably tonight I probably should have sat down, but that's okay. So getting enough sleep? No, I'm not. That's a question, right? Getting enough sleep. I would say going into this new year, it's going to be rough so far. Uh, I had a little bit of vacation time. I had planned to do some filming and some things, but in all honesty, between catching up on some sleep in the daytime, things around the house, I just was trying to get my house in order, so to speak. Um, Getting enough sleep, I would say. I mean, I'm getting 5 to 6 hours, so it just depends. They've added something to my second job. They've added basically another hour and 15 minutes. So I kind of like had the system down, where it was like I did my main job, and had a couple hours layover. I could go to my other job, do that, get home, shower, and in bed by like 3:30. Get 6 hours sleep, 6.5 hours sleep sometimes, and and that was well. It was doing good for me. But now, of course, I'm getting more like five, sometimes 4.5. And then there's some nights if I get delays, then yeah, I get 3.5, 4 hours sleep. So all because of this one extra deal that they did. But guys, I hope that your 2021 is going to go well. Um, Clearly in this country, we just had a lot of political stuff just happen. I don't really want to get into that though tonight because I know it's such a divided subject in this it's such a divided subject in and that's kind of one thing I've always kind of stayed away from is talking politics in the paranormal. We certainly come here. Sometimes it's to escape some of that and to not deal with the living and just focus on the dead sometimes. Sometimes it's the dead's more interesting sometimes, right? So, but other than that, guys, I really do hope that your 2021 is going to go well. I hope that we can, and let me kind of cover a little bit about well, let's get into I want to get into some of the review stuff of last year. I hope that's okay with you guys. But let me see here. Let me look at changing something up here. Bear with me. All right. Is that here? How about this? Yeah, let's shrink me down. And then let's go to I don't know. Uh I don't know. Yeah, don't worry about my subscriptions. You guys are like, ooh, I see some stuff, but that's okay. I don't mind if you see some of the things I'm subscribed to. Guys, I'm subscribed to a lot of things. So don't worry about it. I didn't want to just show you the application. I thought I'd just show you my whole screen. I don't really have anything to hide. So, but anyways, guys, let me adjust this microphone a little bit here. I hope our audio is fine with you guys. So you can see here, if you look as we go back, it looks like about 11 months ago, a year ago, you can see where I did a 2019 review and 2020 talk. Hey, and I actually used the same background. Holy crap. So there you go. In 1 year's time, I haven't changed backgrounds. No, I'm just kidding. But I do try to change up the backgrounds every once in a while. And, I do use different this year especially, I've made a change where I'm doing a lot of streaming from StreamYard instead of before. When I first started out, it was like, um, I was doing a lot of Streamlabs, OBS, and I was just streaming to YouTube. But then I ended up going to StreamYard. I know SRS Paranormal, they, had recommended Matt, had recommended it. So, and I ended up using it so I could stream to both Facebook and YouTube. Um, because the Streamlabs OBS, the multi-stream was not was kind of weird. Uh, I see some more people popping in, but nobody's talking, so that's cool. All right, so you can see back here. Um, God, I was doing some 2019 review. I don't even know if I want to click it. Let's just click in here. But I'm going to share with you guys a little bit of a secret. I recently, well, maybe not recently, but it's probably been about 3 months or so. Um, I I actually I created something. Oh, geez. And it is. All right. So there I was talking about creating my creation stuff. So yeah. Um, so yeah, I was talking about that. I was kind of breaking it to you guys a little bit back then. That's kind of how I was starting the new year back then, a year ago. So, but then you can see here, I did a season 2 trailer, and I was kind of proud. I liked it. I thought it was kind of cool to do a trailer. Um, and this was back when I was really numbering all my shows. Like I start out obviously with season 1, and that was kind of my first, like because it's been about a year and a half now. If you look back at my channel, I've really started the show. I started the show about a year and a half ago. Um, it's okay. Bob says it's okay not to change backgrounds as long as you change your underwear. That's true, Bob. So it's good to see you. But yeah, but yeah, and then I got like season 2. I was gonna do this whole thing where I had seasons, and then eventually during season 2, I think I forgot to label a few, and it just kind of got out of hand. And I was doing, and I think a lot of it too was like I was going out in the field. So when I started going back out in the field, it's like I had these kind of live events, and then I was numbering the shows, and then I just I just stopped worrying about what season and what episode. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll get back into it. Do you guys like? Let me just ask you guys. Comment down below if you're watching this on replay, or if you're in the chat. Did you guys like when I used to do label like season 2 episode whatever? I mean, do you guys want me to label the new season? Do you want me to do like season 3 this year, and label everything, or does it really matter? I guess I'll leave that up to you guys. But you can see here I did a trailer. Let's take a look at it. Let's see what I did. Can you guys hear the audio from the what I play? Wait, maybe I should do the movie voice with it. Hold on. I think we're missing that, aren't we? Hold on. Let's do the movie voice with it. Why not? Or something similar to a movie voice. This January 16th, your favorite show is coming back with more locations that's really haunted and lots of everything. The Everything Paranormal Show, Season 2. Wait for it. There it is. A little bit of the jump scare or something, right? So, anyways, so yeah, that was my attempt at doing a season or a trailer. Um, so let's see. Yes, you see, didn't really matter driving. Oh, no, you sound like Zach. What? Did I sound like Zach? What? Whatever. Whatever, Bob. That's not nice. And then Stacey says, "Oh my God, you did a show with Philip Page from Saving Ghosts. We've talked at length about stuff and junk. Totally missed that one in the list of shows." Yeah, Stacy. Actually, with Philip Page, there's a whole. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to all that. So yes. So, anyways, as you guys are looking, but you can see, I came up with another channel intro a year ago, and I'm not going to go through and play all this stuff. And then you can kind of see some of the things that I was. Oh wait, I just messed up, didn't I? Yeah, that's not it. Never mind. Let's go back up here. So you can see as we were getting into season 2 discussion paranormal events at my house and announcements. So typically, when you see like tonight or tonight, I wanted to do a review show because it was Bob Fountain's idea, even though I did one a year ago. But I really wanted to kind of reflect back on the videos and kind of go back in time with you guys and talk about some of the different guests. Um, so so you can see like shows like this, like season 2 discussion. Of course, you can see me reacting to the trailer. And by the way, that image of me, when you see a flash of me in the hospital, that's when I had my emergency gallbladder surgery. So that's where that came from. I decided I was just throwing all kinds of stuff in the trailer just to make it look cool, or ominous or something. I showed the vehicle flipped over and then me in the hospital. You gotta do that, right, when you make those trailers. So paranormal reality shows making people dumb. This was my first guest of the season, Mike Simons from the Anything Goes project. Um, he was my first guest for season 2. Really enjoyed having Mike on. The guy's a pretty smart guy in general with a lot of things, so it was good to have him on the show. Really appreciated it, and I think we were talking about again paranormal reality shows. If you guys notice, there's a theme throughout my videos. Every so often, I'm always talking about the shows. I'm always talking about YouTubers that are faking it. I'm always because it is a big pet peeve of mine is seeing some of these fakers and these channels, and so it's something I like to make sure that I address every so often with different guests because it is again it's passion of mine. I really can't stand the fake part of the industry. um just remember, Josh, I'm insane. Yes. Yes, Bob. Let's see. Now, when I play the videos, do you guys also hear the audio to them and everything? Because I've never done the share screen with StreamYard yet. So this is kind of experimental. So, but do you guys hear the video? Does it share through real well? Anybody? I know there's a delay, so all right. Let's see. One of you guys are answering that now. The next, if you look, actually the next two guests in a row is not only it's the one and only legendary Bob Fountain who's in the chat tonight. So we, you know, Bob was again somebody that uh, I really admire his skills as an investigator. What I like about Bob is his thoroughness, his professionalism. The way he handles clients. Versus some of the other investigators out there that just go in and they just are young and act stupid. Bob goes in there and he's very professional with his clients and he handles a thorough investigation and he really does try to get down to a lot of the things. So I really wanted to have him on for his paranormal stuff, but also UFOs and aliens. Bob did have a story in his past with some UFO encounters, but so we had Bob on, and then of course I had to bring him back on for the second one, where paranormal investigators dangerous. What is it? Dangerous and stupid. Yeah, stupid mistakes exposed. So again, this was another episode where we're talking about these paranormal investigators and some of the dumb things that they do. And again, if you guys can't tell, the theme of this show quite often is, sort of policing the industry. Trying to, I'm just trying to mentor other teams out there because even though I may not have 100,000 subs, and that's how they judge. That's how they judge you nowadays. If you have hundreds of thousands of subs on YouTube, you must be an expert. Well, I don't I don't self proclaim myself as an expert, but I've been around, and so my wife and I we try to be mentors to other people and set examples when it comes to certain things. So I was on Josh because you could not find a good guess. That's not true. That's not true. Bob's like, you no, I like having you on, Bob. We all like having you on. You're highly demanded to be on. And you would have been on if you were already on like 4 or 5 times. So but I tried to get John recently. Bob's like, I don't want to be on TV anymore. He wants me to do a radio show. He'll be on my radio show. He wants to talk. Maybe we'll get him to call in. So let's see. And then we moved on to like we had some live EVPs on the air. So checking out and then checking out some websites. And I thought it'd be cool to explore some of that. And you can see we get into some more live EVP sessions. That's kind of popular to a point. And then my corona, I did a coronavirus video. I mean, look at this, 10 months ago, 119 views. Did a coronavirus video. I'm surprised it's not taken down. I mean, I don't know if it's, but I had did back then at the time. It was a little conspiratorial in a way. Um, it was just kind of my way of, it was just I just felt like I needed to do that. I don't know why, but I just had researched some things and I shared stuff about Wuhan and why it was spread. Because Wuhan was kind of like the Chicago of China. So let's see. Bob says, worst thing you can say to a client, yep, you're haunted. Good luck and goodbye. Right. Yeah. And there's teams that do it. And that's again, that's why we're here trying to do some things. That's why we're here trying to do some things. That kind of sounds dumb, but yeah, that's why we do what we do in the industry. We do try to help people when we can. Um, then we had our special guest, paranormal help, and and I gotta say, I really enjoyed them. Now, I did go to their live recently. Okay. And I don't know if they're watching, probably not. because there's only a few people watching. So, but I did go to their live recently, and he was it was kind of during the Christmas time, and they were doing their live, and he was in the Santa outfit, and he had like the Yoda ears hat or something like they're the big ears. So I got in there and we were joking around, and then my wife kind of commented and got me, and then he called me out on it and said that he challenged me to do something goofy on air. So I never did. I said I would, and I never did yet, but I did actually. We did find this. We did find this. So I was gonna wear this for an entire episode. You can see here, it don't even fit in the frame right now. But I was gonna wear this for an entire episode. Um, so sorry, sorry I didn't live up to my word on that one. But maybe we will. Maybe we'll do something goofy. Maybe I'll find another goofy hat and we'll wear for the whole episode. So I will fulfill that commitment at some point. Uh, just throwing that back out there. But no, and what's great about Paranormal Help is that they 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 really help from a spiritual side, and you don't always see that. You do get some spiritual warfare, um, and I guess I probably didn't have them on for season two. Maybe I didn't, but in season one, a couple times I had Pastor Sean Carter on, and he was really great for spiritual warfare. I really enjoyed Sean Carter. He was really good. Bob said he just did a podcast with Cheryl Knight and Karen Frazier from Paranormal Underground Magazine, and of course, Paranormal Underground Magazine, sponsored by them. And I'm trying to get Cheryl on my show if she would commit to a Thursday and let me know which one. So pass that along, Bob. No, he's been trying to get us together on things. So yeah, paranormal help. And then paranormal YouTubers clickbaiting for likes. So I remember this episode. So here I did an episode on paranormal YouTubers clickbaiting, and really the gist of what I wanted to do for the show was, I thought it would be good to talk about um, just how you just see all of these fake YouTubers, and they're clickbaiting. They're putting like just, and I think I said like in the thing where like subs are taking us to hell. Well, I think what I meant by that is that the pursuit of subs for YouTubers was causing people to just fake things more and more. It just is becoming a thing. So, and not only that, but they're doing things like they're breaking Ouija boards, and they're breaking all the rules, and they're causing these portals and gateways, and they're doing things that they don't even know, and they're leaving the leftovers for people to pick up. So I wanted to do that show on, and that was kind of the gist of that. And then I think we ended up with Matt Sorge from SRS Paranormal. Those guys are a local paranormal group that I work with around here from time to time, and Matt was the leader of that. So
put the hat back on. Put the hat back on. That's
I'm not.
cool.
I said I will fulfill that at another time.
No.
So Terry Lynn just walked in and said I got to put the hat back on.
Put the hat back on.
I will fulfill that at another time.
No, put the
And you
hat
can't
back
even
on.
really see it.
I need it in my life right now.
Okay, shut the door. She's in my studio.
I don't care. And
All
Mom,
right.
that's not true. I always beg you to come on the show. I always told Josh to
Yes,
get you on the show.
I know.
Now put your hat back on. Everybody tell him to put his hat back on.
Anyways. All right. So, all right, fine. Here. There. I'll put the hat back on. All right. So there. All right. So now you guys are not going to take me. Well, not, you guys don't take me serious, anyways. But yeah. So Matt Sorge, and again, he's a good guy. Very busy guy. He has a lot going on in his life. But he, like I said, we've worked with him on a professional level. Then we went up to Corona Ghosts Investigations, 6 Pete of Fart. And that was kind of a joke. 6 feet apart. That was a slip of the tongue, and so we incorporated there's times when if you guys see something extremely goofy and you don't get it, that's probably because it's an inside joke with Terry Lynn and I. And I will put it out there in public because I have no shame. So, uh, boss just make Terry Lynn put the hat on. But yeah, but I have no shame. I have no shame. So the let's see, but yeah, Corona Ghost investigation, 6 feet apart. I mean, again, another. I mean, I don't want to say filler show, uh, but then I actually was able to get Terry Lynn to come onto the show with audio. She doesn't like to be on camera, and of course, you guys have probably seen her in some of the videos, anyways, like at the Nickerson Sneed, investigation. But again, she doesn't really like to be on camera, so we I spared her the that, and we just did audio, and we had actually come across some of our lost EVPs. So that was kind of cool. We had a chance to because we lost tons of stuff. Like we used to back up a lot of our investigations onto the CD-ROMs, and we lost a bunch of them. And we ended up finding like one that we used to have another copy uh, of some of our first EVPs. It was like maybe 8 or 9 of them or something, but it was pretty cool. So we wanted to show people some of our lost EVPs that we recovered. Pro tips for ghost hunting with special guests. Look at that, Bob Fountain. Yay! Look at that. So Bob came on, and again, this is part of that mentoring thing. We just are trying to help other teams out there. And I guess for me, the mindset is if if an amateur ghost hunting team is scouring through the YouTube, maybe they'll come across my video and watch me and Bob giving some pro tips or something, or even some of my other videos. And I think, and if I can get one person, if I can make something positive for that person, something that sinks in on a positive level, then I'm happy. So for a hot second, I thought I was hearing an EVP until I realized it was Terry Lynn, right? uh, talk about a slip of the tongue. Terry Lynn called me a boob. So, and then, yeah, and then we got to Saving Ghosts with Philip Page. So, I met Philip Page about 8 months ago, obviously, according to the video. Um, and Philip had just moved from Vegas to the Pittsburgh area, and but we had talked with him. We were interested in his spirit box, and we just ended up talking on the phone, and we got along real well. We could tell he had some pretty good intentions, and just overall seemed to be a pretty good guy. So we ended up getting his angel phone. Actually, we got a couple things from him. The angel box, the angel phone. I think that's what they're called. I don't remember if they changed the names anymore. But that's what we got, and so we ended up using them in some investigations. Of course, following up the video because I know Stacy, you were talking about Philip Page, and then and one thing too I wanted to add on Philip is um, he's very much into the frequency levels and vibrational levels of things, and that's pretty cool. So um, I do like where his head's at on some things. Um, and then of course I did a review. So after getting the Angel phone, I did the review. Of course it looks like it's like my teaser trailer was at the beginning of the video. But let's see. Yeah, and then join me live in the field. What was this one?
Out standing in my field. But Yeah. How's it going, Bob? It's good to see you, folks. It really is. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to go out there tonight. I've been
Oh,
really
so
thought
this
to
is
myself,
me.
you know,
This is me
this would be a good
forewarning
opportunity
everybody.
tonight, because next week,
Okay, so that was me forewarning everybody. I was like basically giving everybody a heads up, like, hey, I'm gonna go out in the field and I'm gonna go do something. And again, this was like I really missed being out in the field and I really wanted to start getting back out and getting to some of my roots. So and I know a lot of people they didn't want to just see me sitting around and doing these interviews, doing these videos all the time. So I thought it was pretty cool. And so I kind of just gave everybody a heads up like, hey, come join me tonight. We're going to do some live stuff. And I think it was like my first live. I think I went to a cemetery, just as, I mean, that's always the stomping grounds, right? Is the cemetery. So I didn't have anybody's home or any abandoned places lined up yet. So I was like, hey, let's just hit up a cemetery. Classic, right? Then I actually did a video. I actually ended up doing a DIY, a do it yourself um, uh, SLS camera. So I actually got 452 views. I do get messages from time to time. People ask a few little odd questions here and there, but for the most part, did a when I would decided to build my own SLS camera, I figured, hey, you know what? Uh, I'm just going to make a video and help other people do it again because in this industry, equipment can get really expensive, and not everybody has a large amount of money. And I do pretty well for myself. Working as much as I do, and we have a decent life. But my son's tennis career takes up a lot of money, and I just don't have a lot of extra money. So for me, putting together an SLS camera for under $200 was a nice achievement for me. So I made that video and shared it with people, and it's been pretty popular. It's not the best design. I've seen another streamlined design that I actually like better than mine. Um, but if you're going to build one, you can use my tutorial if you want. And this, you don't want to miss this. Watch quickly before going to the next video. Not sure what that was about. Let's see. Let's just click on something here. Oh, I paused it. Oh, I had a lot of delay there. What the heck?
toys, some paranormal toys. So it's going to be very fun. These are not your normal like K2 meters and the things that we all kind of normally see. Um, so instead, we're going to see some different type of paranormal investigation toys. So it's going to be really fun. Check it out. This was
So yeah, I guess apparently I did like a pre-video to the next thing, and also too, if you look, while we're just kind of paused here, you'll see too that um, so you'll see here that like the banner down there where it says everything paranormal show, please subscribe and paranormal. You see that the format's a little different because I wasn't using StreamYard yet. This was when I was doing my Streamlabs OBS. And the thing I guess I like, one of the things I do like about Streamlabs is if you look at the background's moving. I actually had a looped video for some of my backgrounds back, during this time frame. So that's something I liked about Streamlabs OBS is I could run that looped video and it would be like a cool, little background with the woods or whatever. And then, have I actually put some creepy music in the background. And so I kind of got away from that though. And like I said, I went to StreamYard. So, all right, let's go back here. So yeah, that was apparently and then guess what? Bob Fountain again, folks. Uh, and which is not a bad thing. So, and no, not because I didn't find any other guests, but because we were talking about ghost hunting tools that you might not have thought of. So again, that's what that bear was, that kind of preamble video. We wanted people that, again, we were talking about some things that maybe people just didn't, like, as everybody knows, like the K2 meters and like your audio recorders and things like that, SLS camera now or whatever. But we wanted to talk about some gadgets and things that maybe were, like, again, like the Boo Bear or whatever, the Boo Buddy, some gadgets that weren't quite as mainstream at that time. So that was a good show. Then Tatalanga, I went to Pennsylvania. So actually, um, that's kind of cool. Like Pennsylvania, uh, I decided, me and Phil decided to collaborate. So I actually drove the 6 hours, went to Pittsburgh. So here I did a video talking about um, the trip, or at least talk about getting ready for the trip. I can't remember. And then the Blue Mist Road. Now, this one here, it's got 149 views. Again, another popular video. The Blue Mist Road actually is me and Philip Page together out in the field. So I drug his butt out in the field. Not that he hasn't ever been out in the field, but he really likes to stay indoors. He used to, and I always had challenged him, like, Philip, come on, buddy. Like, people love seeing you outdoors, and they did, and it was a good video. I really enjoyed it. I think the K2 activity we got on there was great. And it was awesome to work with another YouTuber and do something fun like that. So for me, I do have overall fond memories of it. um, and then on the next day, on the way out of town, I actually stopped and did the Green Man's Tunnel. The Green Man Tunnel, and that's a local legend. I stopped in there, but now it's not the next video because I hadn't had it edited yet. I had edited my Blue Mist Road. So then I did another show, and then I had the interview with the Outlaw Psychic. So she's not the first psychic on my show. We did have Rhonda Caudell in season one. But that's about it. I haven't had a lot of psychics on my show. It's just something I don't normally, come across. So that show was interesting. So we watched it. Then after I edited the Green Man's Tunnel, I released that. And then we end up with Sherry D. Benedetti from the Travel Channel's Ghost Nation. And that was cool that we got an interview with somebody from TV. Um, Actually got 103 views, not bad. And surprisingly enough, what was really odd is back to back, like uh, Lisa D. Benedetti and then Daryl Morrison of A&E's Ghost Hunters, which is the next video after that. Ironically, I scored two interviews from people off television, but they were like in the same week, like, or like back to back, like literally, like I had to do her interview, and like I think it was like the next day, like I had to, because of their schedules. So it's like I had two TV celebrities, but back to back. So that was pretty, but it was cool, and they were from separate shows. Daryl Morrison only got 37 views. I feel bad. Daryl, pretty good guy on camera, off camera. Like he's really about the same kind of guy, but just was pretty down to earth. Was more than happy to do the show. So that was cool. And then this is so about 6 months ago. You can see here the Eaton House. This was my very first field, full on kind of field investigation at a place. And I don't want to make it seem like, oh yeah, like I'm a noob, but I'm talking about first as in being back in the field, so to speak, other than the cemetery. But this was like my first actual investigation going back out in the field. And this, of course, again, I wanted to film it in such a way that was um, that first person, you know, urban explorer style, because I really do enjoy that. I think it's a very cool style to film right now. Um, and not only that, but think about it, man. For years, all we've done is stare at teams on camera, and half the time it's either black and white, green, pink, whatever hue they want to use for the infrared, full spectrum camera, whatever. So all we're just watch these, you know, the back of people's heads, all this other stuff, and we look at their meters. It's like you know, that third person really takes you out of it. So again, very first person style, which is, you know, popular among other YouTubers right now. But I like it. I do. I think it's pretty cool for the paranormal industry. What I don't like is the stuff being faked. So my field videos are a little more boring than some of the other exciting ones that are 1,000. But now I will say that for me, and even for my wife, like the Eden house, now, even though she wasn't there, but the families, they're great people, and we unlocked a relative there. It just turned out to be such a good, solid investigation with the dowsing rods, some EVPs that my wife found, um, the light anomaly. I mean, it just turned out to be such a good film. That's why it's really more of my channel intro now. I really try to guide people to that because I think that sort of sums up a good, you know, all around what I like to accomplish in just filming that type of stuff. Um, then we did a paranormal discussions with special guest SRS Paranormal. So this here is actually when I went to StreamYard. So I was able to have multiple guests. And so we ended up having, again, it looks like I think we had Matt and I think we had four, but I think we had Rhonda, Al, Matt, and oh my god, I'm totally blanking out. Um, anyways, so sorry, I'm just like blanking out all of a sudden. Because it's not Michelle. It's Arr. Anyways, but yeah, so we did. So that was kind of my first StreamYard, guys. And that was again with SRS because again Matt showed me StreamYard, so I was like, hey, so we be the first one on my StreamYard. So we did that. Then here we go. So this fake, what the paranormal shows don't want you to know, and this was about faking paranormal. Again, guys, a theme going on is faking, right? This is something passionate. My wife and I, we don't like fakers. So whenever we have a chance, that's kind of the default subject is trying to tell people don't fake it. Like we know what you're doing. And so in that video, I'm talking about some of the techniques that some of the fakers are using. And you know, I know that you can fake just about anything. So even some of the real paranormal may seem fake, but there's just don't get me started. All right, let me look at the comments here. Let's see. What makes your show great is that they are not scripted, laid back, and make you feel like we're all in a den and just having a real conversation. Well, and I appreciate that, Bob. I mean that really is sincere, and I appreciate that. Um, and I like the feedback. You know, I do. I do try to have it laid back. You know, I don't want it to be too newsy, like, and this just in the paranormal world. Yeah. So I appreciate that, Bob, and that's cool. And I hope these laid back discussions eventually we can get more people this year and still keep it laid back. So, um, and I think as we're getting into like 5 months ago, you know, this is when I started the Randonautica So when I will give Terry Lynn credit for Randonautica. She saw the trend. She has a tendency to see a lot more of the trends because I'm working a lot of times, and she'll be doing social media, things like that. So she'll have a kind of a chance to kind of see what things are going on. And she said, Josh, Randonautica is taking off. And she's like, there's not a lot of paranormal investigators doing it. So I went out there and I was one of the first paranormal investigators to do it. And one of them, I'm not saying I am the one, but I was one of them. And I actually, this video, 652 views, this actually ended up on Chills, the YouTube channel Chills, where they do all the top 5 and stuff like that, or top 10. So I think I was number 6. So I got up there. But that video went well. And then we did, Tara Lynn went out with me, and we did another one where we did with Creepy Intent. Then we ended up interviewing Memphis Ghost. Steven was really good. We really enjoyed Steven. I don't know what's going on with him, with his move and everything like that. I know Bob was still was interacting with him a little bit for a while there also. But as far as this video goes, Steven did really good. We enjoyed what he was about. And again, very much they kind of went away from the traditional ghost meters and things like that. It's all became more intuitive with what their team was doing. Then we get into the Nickerson Sneed house. And some of this, like I said, some of these videos I had actually done, but just couldn't get them edited for a while. So it's hard to say when I actually did it. But yes, the Nickerson Sneed house. The Nickerson Sneed house, I mean, that house is, all the way back to Revolutionary War times. So a lot of history. I enjoyed it. I really did. I enjoyed it. Me, Terry Lynn, and our son, we were in part 1. Then when I go back for part 2, it's just myself, which was like the next night. And I just had done it myself. But it was a really good investigation. I think both nights we had gotten some things. But all in all, I enjoyed it. It was a good time. And then Randonautica Breaking the Matrix. So this one was really cool, I thought. Again, Terry Lynn and I, and whenever we get on our videos together, we do, we have our back and forth. But it's, as you guys can tell, it's all out of love. We love each other to death. So, we get on there and, just like any married couple, like on a drive together. But Breaking the Matrix was really interesting because we did set out to do some kind of Matrix experience to try to break the Matrix. And then when we ended up having the Deja Vu cats, it was crazy. So I do recommend, if you haven't watched it, it's pretty cool. 503 views, so that was pretty popular. And then this next one, just a generic now live on the air thumbnail. That's usually when like I'm in a hurry and I haven't made a thumbnail. My life is hectic. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I'm just being truthful. So laid back, right? Laid back, honest discussions. And honestly, that's why when you see those thumbnails like that where it says now live on the air, that probably just means I was in a hurry and just could not make a thumbnail. So that one's discussing paranormal, randonauting, and more. So a lot of times, every once in a while, like if I don't have guests, to be honest with you, I do like to find something to talk about. So whether it's review or talking about this, try to give you guys. So sometimes, yeah, it'll just be me, but I'll try to do more. It just all depends this year, on how everything goes. I've got a lot of plans lined up. I want to do some other things this year. And I know my field stuff is popular, so I want to start lining more field work up to go back out and film, and then every once in a while I'll do some live field stuff for you guys. I always try to incorporate that every once in a while. In fact, where is it? What do we got next? So so then I went and did a live dowsing rod session. So the crash victim was really cool because there was this property. It's near a highway, unfortunately. So there's a lot of noise issues. Like if you watch the videos, you'll hear the highway. But, and like maybe if I ever go back there, because it's still for sale. But if I ever go back there, I may go at like 3 or 4 in the morning if I ever get a chance like that, and I don't have to get up the next day, because that way I can go when there's less chance of a lot of vehicles passing by. But it is right next to the interstate. But what was so cool is we had an amazing dowsing rod session about this crash victim, about this woman, this young female. So really amazing stuff. I did do some research on it, couldn't quite find anything out, but again, with my life, I haven't been able to fully investigate that. Well, then I went back to that property again because it was a really good location. And I'll backtrack. So here's a little behind the scenes. So on the crash victim, that video here, the first one, actually, I didn't go onto the property. I did walk onto the property during the video like one time, but I didn't technically have permission yet. So in all full disclosure. So then, but that's why I just walked on and walked back. But now in the next one, so what I did was the very next day, I contacted the people, and I contacted the real estate agent, and she said, yes, that's fine, and she actually was like cool about it, that she's like, well, maybe, you filming your documentary there is going to, maybe sell the place. So I'm like, cool. So she gave me full permission to go back there whenever. So we can go back there a third time if we want. Well, technically second, because even though I went there the first time, it was in the driveway. So how are we doing on time tonight? Okay. So anyways, yeah. So this time we actually got to investigate the property. So I invited Al James from SRS Paranormal to join me. So and we had a pretty good investigation. We ended up having another good dowsing rod session. He held the rods. I held the rods at times. It worked out very well. So the Shape popped in. Hi, all. I'm dropping in a minute. He said hi and welcome, Shape. So I don't know if he's already gone or not, but popped in. So yes. Now, I'll take a quick second. If y'all aren't familiar with the Shape, go check out his YouTube channel. He's a debunker. So what's pretty cool about what he does is he debunks, YouTube channels. So one of these days, maybe he'll actually come on the show and talk about that and talk about his passion for seeking the truth, which is something that we do here on this show. So that would be nice if he ever emails me. So remember that, Shape, Everything Paranormal Show, gmail.com. So, oh, he's still here. Okay. So yeah, go check him out. Go check out his channel though, guys. Because I look at it like, hey, there's not enough of us honest ghost people in the paranormal world. And so, anything we can do to band together. All right. So moving on my review, as we go now, this is interesting because it's funny that actually it's even funny that the Shape popped in around this time. No, I didn't know your email, Shape. So that's why I messaged out to you. I didn't know what your email was. That's why I said, hit me up on my email. That way I could email you back and, coordinate something with you. But yeah, so we'll talk more for sure. And honestly, since you're here, it's funny because I'm actually to the Hales Bar Dam portion of the show. So it's kind of funny that the Shape popped in here because there was a lot of drama that happened at Hales Bar Dam involving some YouTubers and then everything else. But I'm not going to get into that. It's just ironic that he's here during that. But I got to go to Hales Bar Dam right around that time, and met with the folks out there, did an investigation, and it did go great. The team that I went with, I actually investigated with the team. I can't get into details because of paperwork, but everything went amazing with their investigation. My investigation, I faced some technical issues, but other than that, it was just fun to be there. It was a great night, and spent the entire night there. And on a side note, I went to um, I went to Old South Pittsburgh Hospital the next night, me and Terry Lynn, and I don't. We still have the footage. I still have not been able. We had so much footage because she was filming, I was filming. It was an amazing night. We got chased out of there by some kind of non-human. I mean, seriously, like the non-human. We have evidence of the door getting shut. Like when we first came in, the door was like it was. We walk in, and the door had been open all night. To the if anybody's ever gone to the old South Pittsburgh Hospital, there's an original section, and you can see all the way down through the new section into the old section, and there's a door that can be closing off to the original section. Well, when we walk in there, we look at everything, and we wanted to investigate a particular pharmacy in the original section because there was a certain YouTuber that some pill bottles kind of popped around, and so we were trying to look to see how they could fake it and all that. That's what we do. So, anyways, in the video, you'll notice when I pan back around, which I know you won't notice because I don't have it on here, but I found that the door was closed, and that door had been staying open all night long. There was nobody, you know what I mean? That door didn't just go shut on its own. Anyways, I digress. So we're talking about the year in review here, folks. so, um, so man, where are we? So yes, the Hillsborough Dam. Oh, and then I did the title of that show. I did a show called Boring Show. Don't come and watch. So, um, so, oh yeah, and the shape says, Hell's Bar Dam. Whoop whoop. Yeah. So yes, boring show. Don't come and watch. I don't remember. I think I was just in a spicy mood that day, and I'm just like, I think I even had to wing it that day. I'm like, man, this show's gonna suck, man. And it probably is goofy. I don't know. It actually is a good show. We may have to watch it. And again, here we go. I did another. If you guys can't tell, there's that running theme again. So I did another show called Faking Paranormal Videos, and what does it say? And why does it happen? And again, this is when we talk about chasing subs, chasing these the YouTube dream and all this crap, and it just leads to worse and worse. That's why I don't like I've had TV celebrities on this show. I've had different people on this show. I don't ask for their subs. I don't ask them to advertise. I don't care about upscaling through them. I don't care about all that. I just care about having guests on my show talking about those subjects, and whoever likes it, likes it. But one thing for sure that I'm passionate about is all of the, paranormal that, you guys know. We talk about the quality of paranormal. I don't care if I have boring videos, at least they're real. That's the thing. So again, another video trying to get through to these guys. Quit freaking faking it because we get it. So anyways, investigating a Civil War hospital basement. Here's the Nickerson Sneed part 2. This is when I went by myself the next night from part 1. And I went back by myself, and again, that was pretty fun. I went down into the basement, turned off the lights completely. So I was down in a basement that was a few hundred years old, no lights on, and it was used as a morgue at one time, a temp morgue. So it was pretty creepy, but made it through alive, obviously. Then I did a major announcements. Now, look, remember I told you guys, every once in a while, you're going to come across things that don't make sense, things that nobody understands. Well, this video here, if you look at the thumbnail where it says major announcements live tonight, and I've got this really crazy look on my face, this is another one of those inside jokes. Terry Lynn snapped a photo of me and I made a face, and she was just like, oh my God, I'm going to post this on Facebook and blah, blah, blah. Well, I surprised her by making it on my thumbnail. So again, I have no shame, guys. I have no shame. Sorry. So I just went ahead and beat her to the punch. So, and then, I did a video, Are Ghosts Real? What are they? Again, another theory discussion. And then guess what? We had my reincarnation theory, what events change me, and what did I say? Oh, change me and more. And I think this for me was just speaking from the heart. I really wanted to talk about my reincarnation theories. This was something that was important to me because I do believe in God and Jesus still. That's something I highly believe in, and it's part of my book. My book that's available on Amazon. Anyways, but it is something in my book that when I came across that reincarnation theory, it was kind of like a light bulb, and I'm like, hey. And so to me, a lot of things sort of fell into place. Again, that's why I wrote my book, but I wrote my book like a year ago, so I can't keep banging that bell. And then let's see what video after that. We did live discussion of the paranormal. Again, this is another show where I just wanted to hang out with you guys and talk paranormal. And then, of course, you guys remember we started doing some of the Halloween episodes. I thought it was pretty crazy to do the origins of Halloween. A year ago, or last Halloween, not this past one, but the one before, 2019, I did a Halloween show where I was a guest on the Big Rich Show, like with BRS Media, and we did sort of a origins of Halloween. So I really enjoyed it because I did, I have a lot of research that I've done, and I learned a lot about the progression of everywhere, all the way back to the Samhain festivals of the Celtic, all the way up to modern times, how we evolved and how we ended up with Halloween as we know it. So I really wanted to share that one. So I really enjoy that, and I do kind of wish it had more views. It is pretty educational. I enjoyed it, but hey, it is what it is. And then we ended up with crazy cryptids and creatures. And this is the first time we had Stacy Talich on. Of course, you all know Tatalanga in the chat. And your boring video was one of the funniest shows. I don't remember it, to be honest with you, but I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it. But Stacy came on, and like I said, this is the first time I met Stacy. And of course, Stacy's been a regular now in the chat. He's really starting to come to my shows on a regular basis, and I really appreciate that. Stacy is a really good guy. I didn't know the level of knowledge that Stacy had, and we just it was like every time you turn around, the guy's just a fountain of knowledge. So that's awesome. So I'm glad to have him on, and I look forward to having him on in the future again. And we have him on later on. So yeah, then we go into the missing footage of Hales Bar Dam. What was Hales Bar Dam down here? Oh, it was a recap. Okay, and then this is the actual Hales Bar Dam. Okay, so then here's my actual Hales Bar Dam footage. That just means I got off my ass and finally edited it. so here we go. And when was the recap? 4 months ago, and then the footage came out 2 months ago. So there's a 2-month gap from the recap to when I finally got. I think it was because the trip was so exhausting, but like I was so bummed out that I lost footage. it just, I was so bummed. So but I wanted to put it together for you guys. And I really do want to put together the Old South Pittsburgh Hospital, even though there's some contamination in there. I really feel like, all in all, I want to at least put it out for you guys so you can see. And I think, I don't know, I think we may see some stuff. And, um, but anyways, part of the Halloween releases, we ended up doing the top 25 TV movie monsters. I thought this was fun. This was again one of those fun Halloween episodes where I just wanted to really do something fun and put together like a top 25 TV/movie monsters, and kind of rate them how I felt. Um, Whether they impacted me a certain way, and just like I say in the video, it's like there's some monsters in the movies that, again, some people may find scary, some people may find them cheesy. It just depends on what impacts you. And for some reason, there's just certain ones that just caught me at either the right age, the right time, uh, the thoughts in my head. Who knows? But in any case, I thought that was a fun show. And then, as another part of the special deal, we did return to the Eaton House, 30 minutes uncut, and I like that. I really was happy with going back. We did get some EVPs now because I did an uncut. Um, Other than the intro and the outro, the 30 minutes uncut. Now, I went back and we talked about it. That's the next video. What I would like to do, though, is I would like to go back into the uncut and um, actually kind of cut it up and point out some of the EVPs. And I also have some bonus footage when I was leaving after the 30 minutes. When I went around and just hit record again, because as I was, just kind of closing up and walking through the house, that's how I actually caught that light anomaly last time, was in the end when I actually was picking up equipment. So same thing, I just recorded, and then on the way out, I think we had a pretty good EVP that my wife caught. So I want to take the uncut footage one of these days and actually kind of point out some of the EVPs, some of the anomalies you guys have pointed out, and then also add in some of that bonus footage, so you guys can kind of see like um, what we caught on that. Um, and then Seek the Truth Paranormal. This is when we did a show and we were kind of launching my wife's channel, Seek the Truth Paranormal. She does have another YouTube channel called Seek the Truth Paranormal. She hasn't done anything with it though, so guys, get on her. She's slacked on that. She was diehard. She was gonna go and like it was gonna be like her version or like her side of things. So like if we went to like say like the Nickerson Sneed house, her camera views would have been on Seek the Truth Paranormal, and you would have seen my perspective on the Everything Paranormal show. So we thought it'd be cool to where you could go over to her channel and kind of check out her perspective and get her take on things. But that didn't happen. But then again, guys, to be all fairness, a couple months ago, it's been getting we started getting to the holiday season. We didn't quite have investigations lined up as much, so we will start to get into that. Not a good time to get on me. Yesterday was my birthday, worst ever. Well, I'm just joking with you, honey. Yeah, I'm just joking with you. All right, so then we go into witchcraft with Stacey Tauscher. This was pretty cool. We got a lot of views on this one. It's another fairly popular video. I mean, we're almost to 100 views on that. Again, great depth of knowledge. Really talked about a side of witchcraft I didn't fully realize. Again, because I don't get into witchcraft too much. Like I've heard bits and pieces over the years, and I've read certain things over the years and different aspects of it. But it's really cool to hear, and it's just fun to learn from Stacey. It really is. Then we ended up with Justin Soto from Visually Creeped TV, where we interviewed Justin. Justin, he is kind of like that urban explorer YouTuber. So it's kind of the first time I had somebody like that on my show that was filming that style of paranormal investigations, things like that. He had had some paranormal instances at his own personal home that got him on the Travel Channel and stuff like that at times. But it was just a good show all around. Justin's a pretty good dude, actually. I started talking to him a little bit over the phone, and again, a good guy all around. He really is. And then I do a little quick video where I talk about Thrive. When I had started doing the Thrive, so one of those first things I just thought I'd share with people. Like, it's like sometimes when you do certain things, you just want to share with people. So I shared that. And as we get into these last few videos, so we talked about respecting the paranormal. And what I liked about this show, actually, this show here, and it looks like it's clicking off pretty good, 109 views and stuff. What I like about this show with respecting the paranormal is we really address like opening and closing sessions and like intent, so I really think that I hope it really is helping other teams out there, like when they come across that video. And because and as I pointed out in the video, there's so many instances where people didn't close things correctly or whatever, and they're having to Google search and try to figure out how to handle things. And sometimes it just makes things worse. And eventually they got to call in an actual team to come in and close things down or whatever. So for me, this is that sort of, video to help people like, hey, this is some suggestions on what you can do to safely have an investigation. And then I did a teaser trailer with Justin. We wanted to tease the dowsing rod session because let me talk about this last video. So this is a little bit of behind the scenes. So what's so cool about this is that we had the idea to do the video where we wanted to do, and at the time, um, he didn't have dowsing rods. So the original idea was going to be I would do dowsing rods while he was doing a spirit box on the other end. And then Terry Lynn's like, well, that's stupid. She's like, why don't you guys both do dowsing rods? So he was like, all right, that sounds cool. So he ended up getting dowsing rods. Excuse me, guys. So he ended up getting dowsing rods. And so while we were waiting for him to get them, well, once he got them, we're just kind of waiting for the show. And look, I will say, behind the scenes, it's like full disclosure, we never practiced with him. In fact, I told him, I said, hey, Justin, don't mess with those until we cover the rules, and like we want your first time, obviously let's make sure we do this live. And he wanted to. He's like, yeah. I was like, I want to do it live, first time. He wanted to capture his first reaction. So then when we did a little dry run earlier in the day, actually I held some rods. He didn't hold any rods, but I covered like some rules and things like that. So I just feel like it's important you guys know some of that behind the scenes stuff. But that's kind of how we operate. It was like, hey, if we don't get any paranormal, then we'll do something else. Like if we don't get any reaction on the rods, we'll move on to something else. We kind of had everything planned. Well, of course, most of you guys probably watched that show, and it turned out to be a great show. I actually learned some stuff. I thought it was really cool to be able to ask a spirit to move our rods and to see both of them move from over 700 miles apart. I thought it was a really cool show, and I thought it was pretty neat to do. So I was really happy with the way that went. And so that's kind of like the year of how the year went, 2020 for the Everything Paranormal show. So let's see, what do we got time wise? So we're looking at 10:15. So Tatalago says, have you done a show yet on NDEs, near death experience. Netflix is running a series now called Surviving Death. Interesting topic. No, I haven't. I do talk about that in my book. I'm not plugging my book. I really do. I actually do talk a little bit about NDA, the near death experience in my book. But I do like the subject, and I think it's a great subject, and we definitely can look at talking about that for sure. So what I want to do before I have to close down the stream, guys, is any questions that you guys want to come up with, any personal questions, um, paranormal. Try to keep them obviously paranormal related, roughly. But anything you guys want to ask me in the next 10 minutes, I'll try to cover before we close down. Bob says another neat show could be Josh meeting random people and doing spot interviews about their views of the paranormal. It would be interesting to see the outcomes. This is why I miss places like the mall. When we used to have a mall, right? Just go to the mall and walk around with a camera and do interviews. But of course, nowadays they'd probably be shutting all the YouTubers down all the time. So you can't film in here, you can't film in here. But no, that would be cool. Maybe we'll have to. We live by a pretty photogenic downtown in downtown Bristol, Virginia. Bristol, Tennessee is right here. So maybe we'll have to go downtown one of these days when it's busy, like on a weekend or something. And that could be a good idea to get out in the field and conduct some field interviews about the afterlife, life and death, ghosts, spirits, see what they all think. It's another good idea. Um, so again, if you guys, like I said, if you have any questions, now probably not. You guys probably don't have any questions because you guys pretty much know me. I'm pretty transparent. I get on here and talk, and I usually don't hold anything back. So for the most part, I've been wearing this hat all night just for you, honey. I've been wearing the hat all night. So I'm gonna take it off for this last little bit of show, just because. But yes, there you go. So now I did fulfill my goofy hat duty for most all of tonight. but guys, I do want to say as we start to wrap up, like I said, whatever questions you guys have, go ahead and get them in the chat. But guys, listen, 2020. I guess it depends how you look at it, right? If you look at 2020 in the world of politics, man, that's a mess, right? Just holy crap. If you look at 2020 on a personal level, I think for us, for my wife and I think financially we've been pretty decent. We've been able to at least do pretty well. Both my jobs, I do work all the time, but that's a good thing that I can work. There's some people that can't work. So I do feel blessed in that sense. So I feel like even though, yes, 2020 has had crazy things with the beer bug and all the politics and all the stuff that's going on in the world, I do think that, yeah, that a lot of that sucks. But at the same time, my wife is here, my son's here, I'm here. We made it through 2020 so far, right? We're in 2021, and we're blessed with being in a home, a nice home right now. I'm working, making money. We're not really behind in our bills or anything. Right now we're paying for our son's tennis, so I can't complain a whole lot. And not only that, but you guys, Tatalanga, Bob, Fountain, ICU, you see me, who's normally here. There's others, a handful of you that have been sticking it out with me most of the year, or some of you had fairly recently come on. Because I know even you, Stacy. I know you were in the chat before you came on the show. You were in the chat for a while, showing up to every once in a while, coming in and showing up, and eventually discovering who you are and how interesting. And then that's the cool thing about some of you as guests, and especially Bob. Bob, Stacy. I mean, you guys have been great guests. Um, you know, experts for the most part, whether you want to admit it or not. I mean, but yeah, I really enjoy you guys in the chat. You've been almost like a family to me. So I look forward to 2021. Hopefully, you guys will still be returning. I don't know if we'll always have the show every Thursdays. I don't know where the channel is going to progress or may not progress, but I am working on things for 2021. I will be offering some other things as far as going back to my creation, my invention that I talked about. I do have plans for that this year. Come hell or high water, I'm going to get that to the public. And I know how I think I'm going to do it. So, and that project that I talked with you about, Stacy, that I'm definitely going to work on as well. It just hasn't been a good time with the holidays and everything else. But now that we're past that, again, I've got plans coming up soon to take care of some different things. So we got a lot going on. So definitely come back. Stay tuned for all those things. At Terry Lynn Morris, what happened on your birthday? I missed something. Again, January 6th. Let's just put it that way, guys. January 6th is a rough day for my wife. It was in the big scheme of things, it was a rough. But I tried to give her a good birthday. Despite that, she did get some presents in the morning and things. So, but guys, in all seriousness, like I said, stay tuned. Please help keep supporting the channel. For those of you watching on the replay, hopefully you even got this far. Keep showing up. I will keep doing the shows. If you guys have any other feedback, those of you that missed the live tonight, any feedback, if there's certain shows that you want to see, let's just go back to this here. We'll go try to get. It's one bad thing about standing here. All right. Hey, it's me. I'm back in your screen. So this for you guys, like I said, keep showing up. Please keep supporting the channel. I do. I really care about you guys. Any comments, any criticisms, anything you have, I do. Like, Bob, when you make suggestions, Stacy, I do take all of that to heart and I work on it. I do. Even this show, in looking back and going to these videos, is a suggestion from Bob Fountain. So I do listen to you guys. I do try to incorporate these things. And you guys were wanting me to get out in the field. I started doing that again. I wanted to get out in the field. So that was an easy one. But we're going to do more of that and more of the things that you guys like. You want to talk about near-death experiences? Hey, that sounds great. We'll talk about near-death experiences. So, whatever suggestions you guys hear, that's what I'm here for. Terry Lynn wanted to also say thank you all, and I'll just put this on the thing. So she also says, love y'all and thank you for being here. You're not just viewers, you're family. And that's true. That's what I'm saying. You guys are like family now. I mean, we actually have met Bob before the show, but we have met him in person, and we would love to see him again one of these days if we ever make the trek out that way. But yeah. So let's have a virtual family hug. That's all we could do nowadays anyways, right? It's all virtual hugs now. So, all right, virtual hugs. There you go. There's a hug. All right. There you go. Virtual hug. That's so stupid. We're so stupid. Beer bug is so stupid. Seriously, beer bug is so stupid. Anyways, but guys, what time is it? Yeah, 10:24. So I'm going to end the show because I have to. I got to go to work. I used to not work on Thursday nights. I used to have a little more time to just chill and do whatever. But no, it's been a good show. We reviewed the year. walking through the memories. It's really cool to see the guests I've had on and some of the just all the topics we talked about, the things that we've kind of done over the year. It's really cool. So I really appreciate y'all. Again, if you have any comments, give me a shout, email, whatever you got to do. Oh, and one last thing, Paranormal Underground magazine, guys, go check them out. It's a great magazine. Again, you get a 1 free year. Email them, mention that I sent them your way, and you will get 1 free year digital copy. Excuse me. We got like some kind of weirdness going on there. All right, guys. So remember, next week we'll do another show and seek the truth, guys.